Hey guys, Johnny Colandre here for Life Flow Strategies, and today we're going to talk about energy. Everybody wants more energy. How do we have more energy? So you're looking at me like, well, this guy is loaded with energy, and I'm going to tell you how I do it. So I'll start with a story, and it's about my sister. She would always prod and kind of play fun with me about how I was a spaz boy, right? When I was younger, because I had so much energy in me. Now, in my younger days, yeah, I had energy, but it wasn't like the energy I have today. I didn't know how to harness it, nor did I know how to create it. I didn't have a consistent sleep schedule. I wasn't really taking any nutrition. I didn't necessarily exercise consistently or didn't know what I was doing. But today, it's a little different. So I know she's looking at this, probably laughing about it. But the reality is now, the energy I have is sustainable. I'm 40 years old and I feel amazing. And I've done certain things to get to this point. I've done a lot of research, a lot of reading. And I wanted to share, what are those things? Like, what can you do? Can everyone feel this energy? And you might demonstrate energy in a different way. So we're going to start off with, what are the three components of energy? You've got physical energy, mental energy, and emotional energy. Those are three. So those three components are going to be really critical to really have long-term sustainable energy day in and day out. Number one, the first thing recommend, I've already made a video about sleep. So this is I'm going to touch real quickly 5 things you can do to make sure you're getting quality sleep. Okay, so number one, ensure you're sleeping around the same time every night. So if it's going to be 10 o'clock bedtime or 11 o'clock, stay within that same range because that's really important. A lot of studies talk about getting that quality sleep, and sleeping around the same time and waking up around the same time are really powerful. So that's one for sleep. Number two is keeping the temperature of your room between 68 and 72 degrees. Now, I know ladies are usually colder at night and men are hot, whatever that reason is there, but I like to say that if you stay cool, it's going to really help you to keep better quality sleep. Try to minimize your liquid intake after an hour or two before bed so that you're not getting up having to use the bathroom, because that can usually wake you up. Number 4 is keeping the room dark. So try to eliminate all light. You can put an eye mask on or something to cover your eyes so that you are not seeing the light, because that'll mess with your head, especially the bright screens that we look at. If you have to look at a screen, put night shift on, please, and don't let it mess with your brain, because the melatonin now will not be produced and therefore affect your quality of sleep. The 5th one is sound. Sound really does affect our sleep. Now, I personally like to use a sound machine that makes like a white noise background, because that actually washes out some of these other noises and disturbances. I know people that like to use earplugs in their ears to block out noise, but all of those are really important. So we have sleep. You have to do it. You can hack it. It will not be a sustainable hack. So really ensure, get quality sleep. You're going to feel recharged, revitalized, and re-energized if you either did that and that alone. So moving on to the next one, getting up in the morning. And do I get up and go, yes, I'm going to jump out of bed like a maniac? No, I don't feel like that every single day. There's days that are better than others, but currently I'm in a situation where I've got 2 babies, 2 twins, and I'm so excited to have 2 twins. I'm so grateful. And they keep me up a lot at night. So me and my wife are having to do feedings at random times of the day sometimes, because one wants to eat and the other one doesn't. We're working on getting them on a schedule, but it's really, it affected my sleep greatly. So getting up is a little more challenging, but I do like to jump in the shower right away, and I start with warm water, but I finish off with cold water. And it's like my morning cup of coffee. It's really invigorating. Even in Florida, where the water isn't that cold, it still feels pretty good, 1 to 2 minutes. And during that time, what I'd like to do is put my playlist on. Guys, music is free. Get music. This is number 3, guys. But you can do it simultaneously while you're in the shower. A inexpensive Bluetooth speaker, you pop it inside the bathroom there, you get your playlist. I have all kinds of playlists, AM playlists, PM playlists, exercise lists, meditation, visualization lists, work lists. But I create this one, so I attach those memories, those fun, amazing memories I've had in my life, and I think about that song and it brings me back to that moment. That'll help energize you. You'll feel good, or give you that emotional, that mental energy that you're looking for, aside from the physical. I'm trying to add layers here, so it's not just one specific thing. Now, to go step back just a few hours earlier, the night before, I do have a practice of ensuring I have my day planned out. And the question I like to ask is, what is the most impactful thing that I can get done tomorrow, that I can do tomorrow, that's going to allow me to get that thought off my mind? And I know that tomorrow I have some urgency in my day, right? I've set some good intention that I'm going to get this done tomorrow. And they're not always a pretty task. Sometimes they're action items that need to get done because of the business. They have to get done. So they're not always going to be fun. But I do like to attach, once I get that done, I get my other task out of the way, what's something fun and exciting I'm going to do tomorrow, right? And it can be small little things. I tout this all the time because it's so true. All of us are working so hard and we're forgetting about celebrating. And celebrations can be really small. Cook with your family. Go out maybe to dinner somewhere. Watch it. Go ahead, watch some Netflix. Go ahead, watch a show. Something that's going to really excite you so that you're not just always stuck working and then you're just completely drained at the end of the day. So moving on, once you get out of the shower, I've done all those things. I like to get up and get some movement in my body, right? I'll ensure that I'll have a cool glass, a big cool glass of water, usually like 40 ounces. I personally like to put in some green mix and stuff. I use various different supplements and whatnot, but you don't have to do that. You can just use some lemon and some Himalayan sea salt to make yourself like a DIY electrolyte drink. And I usually take that and I'll walk around the block. Those are my 10 to 15 minutes of getting some movement if I'm not going to the gym, let's say. But typically I'd like to take that. I already have my music on, I've taken it with me, I'm downstairs, I pump in that beverage, a drink, and I usually go right to the gym. And I'm getting in which brings me to the next one, and the number 5, and that's intense exercise activity, right? I personally like to do core workouts, a minimum of 3 days a week. The other days of the week I do some HIIT training, but the big ones for me are core training because it really engages this body and it helps to increase your energy and your mood. It elevates and it gives you a lot more clarity. It enhances your mind greatly. So it's pretty amazing. But before you go do any kind of core training, which are things such as deadlifts and squats, I highly recommend that you get a trainer or at least get trained. Watch a bunch of videos. Make sure you have a partner that shows you how to do it, because if you do it improperly, you can get injured, especially from deadlifts and squats. So that being said, ensure you have the right training there, but you can find some really massive benefits from engaging your core at least 3 days a week. Next one is, my tip number 6 was drinking a big glass of water. Number 7 is priming your day with a meditation practice or visualization, 10 to 20 minutes. Now, again, if you have a hard time sitting down and just trying to blank out your mind, which is impossible, I like the idea of priming, which comes from Tony Robbins. It's really simple. You sit there, you close your eyes. I even put some music attached to it. So it's not like I'm kind of trying to have blank thoughts. I'm looking back and I'm celebrating some past moments that I'm really grateful for. An experience, something I did, people pull up, whatever it is, something in the past. A present moment that I'm really grateful for, something small, and then I look to the future of something I want to achieve. So I call it visualization as well, because that's really what it is. When you're doing that, you're allowed your mind, you're priming the day to win the day. So you're not stuck in whatever thought is inside your head. And it could be negative, maybe you're not having a good day, you're not feeling great. But get yourself primed. It really is helpful. I challenge you to do it for 10 days because it could radically change your life. It changed mine. If you want to take it to the next level too, I like to even write down those thoughts in the gratitude journal, which I have back here. I keep a whole bunch of them. Gratitude journaling is pretty positive and pretty powerful as well, by just simply writing down and keeping track. If your life is worth living, it's worth recording. That's what Tony Robbins says, and he's absolutely right. So moving on to number 8, lower your sugar intake. Now, I personally love sweet stuff, but I've kind of trained myself to move away from sweet things because we know now that sugar is really the killer. More than fat, it's sugar that's the killer. So there is some simple ways that you can cut back sugar and still enjoy things that taste good, right? I personally like to up my veggies and my fruit intake, and I do that with a smoothie. I left a recipe below here that is unbelievably tasty, and it's so simple. I even like to make it the night before, so the morning, I don't got to think about it. It's already done. It's pretty delicious. I highly recommend it. Check that out. And take advantage of the convenience of having something like that made, so you get your fruits, your veggies, your fats, and all this stuff. So check out recipe below. I think you'll really, really enjoy it. Number 9 is taking the time to set up the daily breaks, the work intervals. So if you have to go crush it, let's say, all right, great. You know, you go 45 to 60 minutes. If you're a madman, you want to go 75. I wouldn't push further than that. You want to get in a good flow state. I understand that. I personally like to do it myself. But get up every 45 to 75 minutes. You know, we're pushing at 75. Take a little break. 5 minutes. Stretch. Jump in place. You know, just lymphocyze a little bit. Walk outside. Get some light. Take some fresh air outside. Move your body. And then get back and do it all over again. I like to take a glass of water at the same time. It's something I highly recommend to do because it'll allow you to get back and get in the game and crush it. Give you laser focus and clarity. It'll allow you to be much more productive. So definitely take the daily breaks. The number 10 is the last one. And this is a little controversial. It is responsible caffeine. Now, what does responsible caffeine mean? Now, in certain circles, caffeine can be, you know, kind of like an evil or a necessary evil for some. I personally was anti-coffee for so many years. And then upon the discovery of my dad having Parkinson's disease, I started to research and I realized, you know what, there's actually a lot of benefits. But I didn't want to be biased, but I read the negative and the positive about coffee. And so I came to this conclusion that I was going to try coffee. Now, I've always been very sensitive to caffeine. And I think that there's some people that can take caffeine late at night and go right to bed. I still don't recommend that. I recommend you do your coffee before 12 o'clock because we just don't know yet. There's still some questionable things out there in science that we haven't got all the answers. So doing responsible caffeine means I go out, I like to buy my beans organic, and I'll grind them myself. And then I use a little AeroPress to reduce the acidity. And I don't do it every day. I do it 3 days a week. And I use it usually to help my workouts. Or if I want to have like a session of complete flow, I'll go have coffee. Now, today I didn't have any coffee. So this is how I'm like normally. You should see with coffee. If I have coffee, I'm definitely bouncing off the walls. But it's really cool when you do the coffee this way. And adding a little bit of MCT oil will give you an additional boost. So I put the links below, check them out. Highly recommend you check that out. So that really sums everything up, guys. If you want to have more energy, watch this video again and do these things because you can have true sustainable energy. You can ask anybody who knows me. I'm like this all the time, but I know how to turn off. I can sit there and meditate for an hour, no problem at all. I can go to bed and sleep like a baby. But the beauty is learning to tap into that true energy. The physical, the mental, and the emotional. So go out there, guys. Take these, implement them into your life. Don't just watch this video and just watch the next one. You can back up these facts, check them out. I've done a lot of research on this. Hopefully this serves you guys, and look forward to another video where we share even more amazing insights on little things we can do to increase the quality of our life. So peace out. Have an awesome day with gratitude and love, guys. Ciao.